What is crack-a-lackin', boutique baddies? Welcome back to Sharon's Nail Boutique. I am your amazing, wonderful host, Sharon, and I'm so excited to be back from April vacation, spring vacation, however you want to refer to it. We are back, baddies, and the kids are back in school, so we are just going to jump right into this video. If you're new here, please do not forget to hit that like and subscribe, and let's jump right into this video. Okay, so we are using our Macart nail pump-ups in the pre-pinch XXL pre-pinch C-curve nails, yes, in the clear, and we are just chopping these bad boys down because we don't want to leave the whole length on here. We're actually going to be doing an acrylic set today, simple, classic, not a reverse French. We're going to do a whole nude nail, and at first I was using Car Lash mixed with Mia Secret Nude, but then I was like, you know, it's not really giving me the results that I wanted, so I ended up just going in and finishing the nails with the Mia Secret Cover Beige. So, other than that, we are using this mandrel bit to remove that shine from the tip, not the natural nail, because we already have our peel off base coat going on there. And sometimes I kind of snag it a little bit, and that's why you see a little bit of the base coat kind of coming up a tiny bit. So just be careful. I mean, I guess you could always do, no, because then the tip would already be on. You want to make sure that you're not kind of snagging that peel off base coat with your mandrel bit, because then it'll, you know, it won't work properly. So I'm mainly just going in with this mandrel bit to get mostly the corners thinned down. Blech, I can't even talk today, guys. Jeez. So I'm trying to get those corners filed in and down so they're not big and bulky when you come in with your acrylic. Just burping my brush now. I'm using my number 14. Ugh, looks so disgusting. Don't you hate when you get like acrylic on your fingers as you're working and it kind of like gets on your brush? That's why my brush looks that way. But yeah, I'm not sure how I could even like really go about cleaning it because sometimes the acetone is just too much on surfaces. I know with my aquarium brushes, when the acetone kind of hits that handle, it starts eating away at the plastic. So I'm not sure. If anyone has any tips or tricks or ideas on how to clean like the handles of the brush, let me know in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate that. So as you can see here, I started off with two of the colors and I was like, you know, it's not really giving me what I need. So I think I ended up just finishing with my Mia Secret. Pretty sure I did. But yeah, so I start off, I can do a nail and one bead. If you're interested in watching me do one ball methods in another video, definitely leave it in the comments below. I will gladly get that up for you. We're going to be using our hand Lola very shortly, probably in the next video, because I really want to show you all how to get like hand painted spring designs or flowers or even rabbits for Easter, anything like that. We're also going to be doing our Mix It Up Monday winners from the previous week, also our new mix, and yeah, so we'll go from there. And just finishing up on this nail now, I've decided to just continue with the Mia Secret Cover Beige. I also have their Cover Peach, which I really like the color as well with that one. So basically what I'm doing with these nails is I'm kind of doing a few bead method just to kind of build that up. It was a little cold in my nail room, so this one here, I'm starting out at that like natural free edge area, but I end up pushing my bead up, you know, as much as I could push it up, and then I'll come back in eventually with that actual cuticle bead and add on to this structure here. So the reason I like to do this like in 2-ball or 3-ball methods is because when you do it this way, you're kind of already building up your structure on that bottom portion, and then when you come in with your cuticle bead, it just kind of naturally falls into place where it's supposed to go, and then you kind of get that natural apex already going because you've placed that bead up there, so it has that little bit of a ridge to come up and over, so it gives that natural apex look already, and then you just kind of perfect on that and add to it. So Here, you can watch me here. So I'm not really playing too much with the top of that bead. I'm just coming in with my brush and making sure I'm holding my hand on a downward motion so that the gravity is naturally going to kind of pull that product on a downward angle. So I'm not really going to have to do much, making sure that I am using my brush in a circular downward motion so the product is kind of just going into place where it needs to be. And you should always you should never play too much with the top of your acrylic. Like when you place the bead, right, as it sits and it starts to kind of come down the nail, the top portion of that, you want to just kind of leave that alone, unless you're blending and doing an ombre or something and you want to, you know, turn your brush around and blend that bead backwards. That's completely fine. But if you're not doing that, you don't have to do that. Like that little bit of a bump, I should say, it's not, as long as you're laying your bead properly, it's not a big bump, you know? Like look at this. I place my bead, so the top of that near that natural free edge, see, it's not a huge bump. It's not a huge amount of product that the next bead would have to come up and over. You see what I'm saying? So as long as you're laying these beads properly and they're not like huge and bulky, you're not going to have a big problem getting your next bead at that cuticle area to come up and over this bead, because it's not huge and bulky. It's laid normally, properly. So watch. I'm placing this now, and I will end up coming in again with another cuticle bead because I want my apex, since I'm not encapsulating these, I want my apex and structure to be built properly. So the strength is where it needs to be, because your apex should be in the top third of your nail, depending on the length, you know? So that's why you see me doing this last bead here the way I'm doing it, building that up, making sure that that apex and strength is right there, right under the cuticle area. And you see how it looks now from the side, how it just has like that natural built structure where it's, you know, thin around the cuticle edges and sidewalls, and then it comes up ever so slightly and then back down and out. That's your natural grow out. That's how a nail naturally grows. So as long as you can get your product looking as natural as possible as far as grow out goes, then your nails are always gonna look really good, and you don't have to do much filing. As long as your nails are being built, you know, according to those directions, you're not gonna have a lot of filing to do. And you know, of course, like with anything else, time, you know, practice makes perfect. You will get it perfected with time. Some people get it quicker than others. Like I happen to be a very fast learner, but I've also been doing nails since 2015 actively. You know, after I had that bad experience at the nail salon, I just started getting right into it, throwing myself into doing nails. So, and I've always been a very artistic, creative person. So this for me was a no-brainer. I loved art already. So I'm just building up the pointer here, adding my cuticle bead, pushing that up as close as I could get it without touching the skin, making that nice and flush and thin up and around those edges, and just making sure that, you know, like the bulk of that is right under there. And then I'll pull from the bottom. I'm not pulling too much from the center of that bead, because you want the center of that bead almost close to the top to be in that structure area, the apex area. So that's why I'm adding another little bead, because I didn't have enough. It wasn't built up enough. So you see how I'm holding my brush, the angles it's giving me. That's important as well. You want to make sure the way you're holding your brush is accurate, because if you're holding your brush, say, completely flat, right, and you're being too like hard and dragging your product, you're gonna drag everything off your nail. I had that problem when I first started doing nails. I was too like heavy-handed, and I also didn't give my product enough time to kind of what do they call it? When it polymizes, kind of stiffens up a little bit so that it's more moldable. Depending on what portion of the nail you're working on, you either want it to be more moldable or a little more wet. It just depends. If you're doing something like, you know, scale work, like mermaid scales, and you're using netting to pull into your product that's already kind of drying, the first bead that you use to go over that with a different color, because you want that to stand out after you file it down, you're going to want to use a really, really wet bead when you first place your bead down, because you want that color to go all into the cracks and crevices. And if you have too dry of a bead, it's not going to do that. It's going to make air pockets and stuff. So you want a really wet bead in cases like that. Now, in cases like this, where I'm actually trying to build a structure, you don't want a very wet bead. You want something that's more polymized and more moldable, because you need to build your strength up. You need the structure there. You need product there. So you want it to be even in certain spots, tucked in certain spots, and the bulk of the product running down in certain areas. Like, the bulk of your acrylic should always be coming through the center mostly. And then obviously you have product on the sides and up near the top, but it's more tapered and thinner around the edges and cuticle area. Now, you see what I'm doing there? I'm kind of just pulling from that bottom portion. That's to keep, you know, a bulk of that product in the apex area where it needs to be. Now I'm adding the cuticle bead. Thumbs are always a little more difficult, but I actually really enjoy thumbs, because thumbs obviously give you more room to work with. But I feel like they're underrated. Thumbs don't get enough credit, and they're harder to do, but for me they're more fun. But yeah, I mean, this is not too much to this video, BBs, but you know, it's there, and I wanted to share it with you because it's a classic full nude nail. It's acrylic, and I don't typically do a whole bunch of acrylic anymore, so I really, really wanted to get this up for y'all. And yeah, just how I paint my Frenchies when I'm doing them with paint and not acrylic. So I really hope that you all enjoyed this simple set. If you have any questions or concerns, or you want to get together and collab, I know that there is someone in particular that wants to collab. So if you want to collab, hun, still reach out to me through email so we could discuss, you know, what we want to do. I'm thinking maybe something like Pastel, Paradise, something like that. And you could do anything, you know, with those colors or whatever you want to do, you know, like a spring set or something. I don't know. But yeah, so these are the full nude nails, and I do come in and add a little more on some of them to build up that apex even more so. Like on this pointer, you see I just push up and then I pull from the bottom. Make sure that's tucked in and around, you know, the side walls and cuticle area. I add a little to the bottom to make it a little bit thicker, because you're going to come back in and file too. So you're going to debulk some of these. So it's not going to stay this way. So just adding a little more to the pinky, and then we'll start filing and stuff. And at the end, I've left some pictures for you all. I've left me drawing in some of the French on here for you as well. Let me know what you think of this set in the comments below. And please, if you're new here and haven't yet subscribed and you're still watching, don't forget to do so, because that helps me the absolute most. And I always comment and respond back to my commenters, and I always show love to people that support me. So if you're subscribing to me, I'm definitely going to subscribe back. So thank you all so much for being here. I love you all so much. We're almost at 1,100 subscribers. I can't believe it, because it went so fast. But let's see if we could get to 2,000 subbies, guys. Let's get this ball rolling. Let's see how quick we can get to 2,000 subscribers. And later on today, we're going to be working on Lola. So stay tuned for that as well. And we're just using our Beetles French white. I believe it's the French white to do our classic hand-painted French there. I believe it's French white. Anyways, I will see y'all boutique baddies, babies. Yeah, See, I'm not sure. I really want to say Boutique Babies, but I really like Boutique Baddies. Which one do y'all like better? Let me know in the comments below. I actually really like the Boutique Baddies. So let me know what y'all think. I think we could go back and forth too. It's not that big of a deal, but yeah, let me know what you think of those things in the comments below if you've watched this far. And yeah, I will see y'all in my next one. I love y'all so much. My bestest ever Boutique Baddie babies. Yeah. Boutique Baddie babies. Triple B, y'all. Triple B, y'all. Yeah, maybe I should open up like that. Like, what's up, Triple B's? Yeah. I mean, yeah, that sounds good, right? I like it. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. And I'm out of here. Don't worry. I'm not really buffing this fast, but I've sped it up like 4 times the speed. So, yeah. And then I just show y'all how to easily draw the classic French tip there with your paint. So, yeah. I love these little hand painted gel things like the liner gels. I love them. And especially Beetles. Their products are amazeballs. So, I will see you on my next one. I think I'm using McCart No Wipe Gel Top Coat in this one, I believe. Either way, I also use D&D No Wipe Top Coat, so that one's good as well. And I will leave all the links in the description index below. And that's it. That's all I have for y'all, Triple B's. I love y'all so much. I will see you in my next one. Bye now.